Hi, hello, how are you all this fine day? I hope that if you're here, you subscribe to this channel if you're not already, and check out everything that is down below. We got my newsletter, my website, my social media. It's all down there. You should check it out. It's about time that we talk about gender. And I'm going to speak about this as an autistic person, not as a scholar or an expert when it comes to gender. So I'm not going to pretend to be that resource. You can find those, or maybe I will include some down below for you. So we're just going to touch on, my experience, what I've observed, noticed, felt while being aware of my autism, and kind of trying to best conceptualize my thoughts on gender, how I view it. First off, it's important just to note that gender, sexuality, your biological sex, and your romantic attraction, all of these are different things, different realms. Right now we're going to focus on the gender and I guess the biological sex part. And we'll start off with just acknowledging that there is a high prevalence of autistic people that are members of the LGBTQ plus community. All the letters, you are valid and included. So it's pretty common that autistic people we are ones to question the rules in all realms of life. And if there are rules that just don't have a real purpose, that are really just things that society chose to follow in order to suppress certain groups of people, we're not fans of that. So finding ourselves within that is just not fulfilling. Again, we're going to speak from my experience in that that's what I've thought, at least. I don't use the term feminist lightly, but I do consider myself a feminist in that however you identify and what feels true to you is valid, and you deserve to be treated with respect as a capable, conscious, valid, living being. You deserve the same rights and the same treatment and the same respect. Which I see gender is just kind of another one of those hoops to jump through, in a way, of just feeling worthy and having the same opportunities. So, for me personally, how I identify, which I really didn't necessarily think about at all. Like, I've never really taken into consideration, like, do I, like, what gender am I? You know, it's, biologically, I am female, so beyond that, I mean, I don't know about other autistic people, but I just never thought about it, and in that, I never necessarily, like, brought it up. I didn't really, like, refer to myself even as female identifying nouns, I guess, like girl or woman or whatever the heck. I never really, like, connected myself with those woman roles together. And in that, I've found that I feel best with the pronouns she, her, hers, just because it's easier for people to use, and I don't mind it. And when I refer to myself, I use they, them, theirs. If you've noticed, if you've been around for a while, you notice that I use, like, person, I use, like, dude, I call everyone dude. I find it pretty gender fluid. I just human. I just refer to other people as well as more open terms, because I don't want kind of these what for me it feels kind of like arbitrary terms that my brain doesn't necessarily connect those with my identity. Like, essentially, if I was just like a cloud of ether, that would be amazing. Like, I would love to just not have a body. I would love to not have like certain kind of identifying constraints on me. I feel like it just complicates things a lot. And I don't want this to come off the wrong way, because I am so open and I'm super I want to be inclusive as possible. So none of this is to say that you are invalid or it's pointless for you or anyone to identify with a gender. You do you. You live your life. I'm saying that for me, I just don't necessarily, it doesn't like fully compute in my brain of like the purpose for that in who I am. So beyond saying that I am a human alive in this world that is autistic, that has whatever redeeming traits about me, whatever skills, strengths, and weaknesses. That's what I find resonates with me more than having a gender. You find that this is hard for me to put into words, which is why I think it's important to at least throw out there, just because it's something we haven't talked about yet, and it's something that's really important. It's important that people feel their most empowered selves, however that is described, through gender, through sexuality, through neurodiversity, what have you. So I would love to hear your thoughts about gender, especially if you're autistic. How do you feel about gender? Is it something you really identify with? Or is it like me and it's just kind of a term that's out there that other people use but you don't really click with it? Let's start a conversation. But I'm super thankful that you're here, that you watched. Please subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you all next time.